Alright folks, welcome to another Amulet stream. After having some fun with 2018 Amulet, it's now time for the real deal. Some cards were printed since 2018, okay? So now we have Castle, we have Breeding Pools because of Castle, obviously. We have Field of the Dead, only 2 Tolerant West, we have Valakut, we have Dryad, we have Karn the Great Creator, Gracer, etc. The only thing that I changed, this is actually the list that I was going to play in the Mana Traders if I hadn't gotten the wrong email and I had failed to to wake up on time because of that. This is the list that I would have played. Oh, never mind. No, this is not it. Because what I was gonna, this is the list that I had been testing, but the actual list that I was gonna be playing would have 2 engineered explosives instead of the mill hate. There we go. And the reason for this is because of Death Shadow, basically. There are some matchups like against Shadow. I like siding out Karns. And even if I didn't side out Karns, which is something that I could also see happening, particularly when they are going towards a more Blood Moon approach, which most Shadow players have been moving towards, honestly. They have been bringing in the Lurrus to the main deck, and they are just moving the Blood Moons to the sideboard. And when that happens, maybe like they're just trying to play a longer game because they can't really play that much of an aggro game because the Blood Moon plan really goes against their Shadow plan. Because Blood Moon means that it's a lot tougher for them to hit themselves, like for them to shock and stuff. So then maybe Karn is actually better. But yeah, honestly, I haven't played the matchup that much. Like I for whatever reason don't run into it in leagues as much as I should because I think it's one of the best decks in the format. So my exact 75 in our weekly Discord this week. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. I think this list is pretty good. I mean, it's just Karn, right? I'm gonna make a video for Patreon. Actually, right after I finish this league, I'm gonna start a new series on Patreon. So at the start of every month, I am going to be like talking about the updates and where like the modern metagame it's at and how that affects Green White Reclaimer and how that affects Amulet. So, and I would of course also provide my my preferred lists for each archetype after doing an analysis in the meta. It's kind of weird how this hand. No, this hand's just bad. Never mind. I was thinking that maybe because of the presence of both Valakut and Dryad, that hand could go somewhere, but that was just not true. So we're gonna keep this, and I think we're gonna bottom Vestige because I'd rather hold on to both balanced lands, and we need the untap land on one, particularly if we're playing against aggro. So I mean, as is, this hand is a turn 4 Titan on the play, which is not the worst. Force. Oh, okay. Let's see what we're paired against. Snow-covered island. Is this Breach? That's one thing that I have been pretty excited about, like the fact that Ursa decks are making a comeback. I always really liked the Ursa decks. Oh, okay, so this is probably like Storm or something. So we're probably just dead here. And I think that the correct play is going to be to play Castle on turn 2. Because if I have 2 turns to top like a Titan or an Azusa, and I can pack for the other piece, and that allows me to turn 3 the Titan instead of turn 4. Always gotta be thinking ahead. Always gonna be prepping. Explore would also be a nice draw. Explore would also turn this into a turn 3 Titan. Stacy would also turn this into a turn 3 Titan. Gracer would also turn this into a turn 3 Titan. Let's see. Like we had an insane amount of good draws there. Even Dryad would have been, I guess Dryad would have been the absolute best draw. Second Amulet would have also been okay. We just had an insane amount of good draws there, actually, now that I think about it. The thing now is, how much does this matter, right? Because if my opponent is indeed playing like Storm or some kind of deck like that, then our turn 3 Titan might simply not be enough because we can't interact with their stuff. They did bottom with Serum Visions though. Oh, okay, so it probably is Storm. It's also brutal to know that like it doesn't matter whether they play a 2-drop or they play or they pass. This is just bad for me regardless, because like this means that they're holding up remand. Oh, never mind, sweet. So this is just fine now because we don't have to pact for it. But needing to pact obviously would have been pretty bad for us because it would have time walked us. But now like they can remand, but if they don't actually kill me next turn, now I can interact with their dork. So we're gonna see a remand here. We're gonna get in there with Gracer, obviously. But yeah, now I think we're looking good. Scalding Tarn? Oh. That could be a problem. Serum Visions before fetching. Not sure I love that play too much. What are we up against? Is this Breach? Like, this just has to mean that they have another cantrip, right? So they bottom twice with the first Serum Vision, so they don't want to mess with their Scries. And this is the reason why Storm doesn't play fetches, right? Like, you don't want to mess with your Scries. But with them having fetches, like, I'm super freaked out about... I'm super freaked out about Blood Moon now. I mean, I'm gonna make the same play that I made last turn. They bottom topped and then shuffle. Like, that's just so silly. Doesn't make any sense. Repeal on my amulet would be kind of annoying. What is this? Blue-green. Growth Spiral. Okay, so we're looking good now. So this is probably Scape Shift, I guess, huh? Scape Shift? But Scape Shift with Serum Visions? I don't know. Do we have a lethal line here? We might actually. We have the Azusa. We play Primetime. No, we don't have a lethal line. We can swing for 18. We can swing for 8. But then we can't seal the deal. 8 puts them down to 7. Huh, wait a second. So we play castle, we attack, no, it's not lethal. We can also pact for Gracer. So cast Titan, get a Gruul Turf plus Stronghold, tap 3 lands, play Azusa. No, because our colors don't work. Yeah, we're just missing a green source. We're just missing a green source. So I guess we just have to swing for 8. You always want to like think about all of your permutations before you actually take any actions, because obviously once you take the actions there's no turning back. So what I think I want to do though is I definitely want to get a Valakut into play, because getting a Valakut into play means that even if my opponent has a cryptic command to tap my team next turn, I can still pact for Dryad, and I can actually just kill them with Asusa plus Dryad Valakut triggers. So we don't know what we're playing against, but I think that Cavern's probably going to be fine, and I guess these two are going to be fine as well. We can cut one of these, we can cut a Radiant Fountain. Cut a Gracer. Again, I'm sideboarding as if my opponent would be playing Scape Shift, but I definitely don't have information to know about. I just don't know enough about their deck, because we just saw Remands, Growth Spirals, and lands. But we did see Temur colors, which is important. Serum Vision is just so weird. Serum Vision just throws me off. Yeah, these hands are not great. I mean, we do have access to... We can transmute for Cavernous Souls on turn 2, which is kind of hot. We're definitely just going to bottom the Bojuka Bog. Again, turn 1, Serum Visions. Okay. See what they do with their scries. 2 on top. Alright. I don't love shocking here. I guess I don't love shocking. Like shocking, again, I think that my opponent's on Scape Shift, and that being the case, then the difference between being an 18 and being at 19 is 1 land drop and potentially 1 turn, which is obviously a huge difference. So this would be a turn 2 kill if my opponent weren't holding up Gust, Remand, like whatever. But I'm not gonna play into, because like if they have it, we literally just lose, because we die to our back on upkeep. So probably not a great stratagem. They do have Growth Spiral, which is kind of annoying. I still don't think that going for it is correct there. Ancient Grudge. Well, that's pretty good right there. That is a card that I have not seen played in the deck in maybe years at this point. Decent draw. Missed land drop is huge though, obviously. Could have backed it for Asusa. We died to Cryptic Command, so I'm obviously not very excited about that. This is one of the situations that sometimes come up where I really wish that we had access to Pact of Negation in the main deck, in the sideboard even. because that's what we would be transmitting for here. That's a neuro. I think I'm just gonna get Bojuka Bog. Because Bojuka Bog just means that I cannot get Urod, and that means that my opponent doesn't have a clock. Which means that we have time. Which is exactly what we need. We could have also gotten Castle. So if we had gotten Castle, that means that my opponent cannot really tap out in their main phase. Man, Serum Visions is just so confusing to me. Why are they playing Serum Visions? It just seems so bad. They went top. It's bad news. But like even Opt kind of feels better than Serum Visions for them. I'm gonna put Growth Spiral on top. It's pretty gross. Gross Spiral. Hehehehe. So it wouldn't surprise me here if my opponent went... My turn is pretty much scripted, right? Like there's not too much that I can really do. But it wouldn't surprise me if my opponent just like Cryptic commanded here my Semi-Growth Chamber. Tail send my Bojuka Bog. I think I'm very much okay with that. Unless they have exactly either Gust, right? Which is probably what they have. On the plus side, that means that they don't have Cryptic, obviously, which is good for me. Here's my Titan. Gusto. Ancient Grudge. Wow. Gonna Tail Sand again? Yep. Still okay with this. Very, very much okay with this. Growth Spiral. So now they can get back Udo, but like now I have a Titan and I have another one coming up. So like they can get back their Uro, but like they missed a land drop again? Oh, jeez. The funniest thing is how I still don't know what my opponent's playing. Like, are they playing Wilderness Wreck? I actually don't know what they're playing. Like, are they playing Escape Shift? Are we playing Wilderness Reclamation? Are they just playing like straight up Rug with like Jaces and whatnot? Literally have no idea. Yeah, this is fine. Four, five, six, seven. If they are playing Escape Shift, they're one land away from having lethal. Not much I can do about that. What I can do though is I can swing this guy. And I could pact, right? Like I'm very well aware that I could pact first, but if I pact for Dryad, my opponent gusts my Titan, I effectively get double time walked. So I much rather like see what my opponent does here, and then if they gust, like they just gust my Titan, I just play a second one, which is what's gonna happen. Yep. So we're definitely getting field, that's the easy part. And then I guess we can get Boros Garrison and bounce Bog and play it. So my opponent cannot gust me again. Temur is back to modern. Yeah, I mean it's possible that it's that, but I was just very, very confused by the inclusion of Serum Visions. Like that card doesn't really strike me as what you want to be doing with in your modern deck anymore. Long gone are the days of Serum Visions being a good cantrip. Like it's still the best cantrip in modern. Like I don't think there are any arguments there. Okay, so my opponent is just doing complete and utter nonsense. That's what's going on. We can still kill Karn, which is hilarious. Okay. One, two, three. Play my Dredge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play my Primeval Titan. Get Valakut, get Vesuva. Vesuva is going to copy Simic Growth Chamber. Ping there. I can kill Uro. What happens if I kill Uro? I get to attack for 6. So I guess it is effectively the same, but slightly better. I mean, if I go face, I only swing for 4, but I also went face. So that's, yeah, I guess that I'm going face is just better, right? The Uro is obviously irrelevant. Always yes, always yes, always yield. And if we find Karn here, then we can Karn plus on the Ensnare and Bridge. That's a whiff, which sucks. Let's get Slayer Stronghold. But they're literally dead on board right here, so that's also nice. Karn the Great Creator. I guess that's what my opponent's up to right now. I mean, if they have Boil, I lose. If they have Boil, I'm dead. So there's that. I wonder what happened that I lost half my viewers. I guess I dropped some frames. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Anyway, we're 1-0. Still no idea what my opponent was playing over there. It didn't seem like it had a very concise plan anyway. Boom. Second match. That was kind of a long one. I'm a little bit hungry now. Playing against Lurrus. This hand is oddly okay against Lurrus, I think. They could have turn 1 Inquisition or Thoughtseize, which would suck, but... Oh, it's just Hammer time. Okay, so I guess it's not good. This hand just sucks. Can we find Karn the Great Creator here? Oh, we found that one. 2. We have no green sources. Yikes. I mean, I guess we do have green sources. We just have to use Vesuva to copy Vestige instead of copying Valakut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have enough land, so I guess I'm gonna play Tolari West here. And then we can just use Rod Farm to bounce the Vesuva. We can replay it as a Valakut. So if we find... Oh, we can Pact for Gracer even. If we really need to kill something, like let's say that my opponent has Pure Steel Paladin or something, and we really need to kill it, we can just Pact for Gracer and kill it. But the ideal draw would be something like Explore. I don't think my opponent has a turn 2 kill available to them. Stoneforge? Wow, so we can actually take our time and everything? Yeah, my opponent just did not keep a particularly good hand. That's actually just better, right? That's actually just better. Oh man, that's just so insane. So next turn we can like Dryad and just blast on nothing here. This game is just over now. Next turn we play Dryad and we literally destroy their board. I guess we don't destroy the board, we just kill the Stoneforge Mystic, but we get to Dryad plus probably Coding, or we can Explosives for 0 and blow it up. That seems better. Yeah, I think we're done here. When this deck doesn't draw like the stupid card, the 1-drop, like the 1-drop enchantment, like this deck is just so unplayable. It is straight up bad when it looks like this. Yeah. Go nuts. Go nuts! You have a Colossus Hammer. So we copy Vestige, float green, 2, 3. Play Dryad. Kill that. Yes. Oh, sealed. Bounce this. We can EE for 0 here. We can Pact for Gracer, but then we lose to my opponent removing Dryad, so that's probably not a great idea. We can Ballista for 1. How do I lose this game? No, explosives. We just have 2 explosives. The only way that I lose this game is my opponent somehow gets the... They top deck exactly the white enchantment and they attack with Ornithopter, and I can't block it, and they instant speed equip plating plus double hammer probably. So we have to get explosives there. My opponent gets to bring the Karn to 1. That doesn't do too much though. Like either this is dead or it doesn't matter. Put Lurrus into hand. You got it. Sounds good. Oh, the F6th. Sweet. There we go. Hammer time. These cards are good. This card is good. This card is good. Those are the ones that I want. Honestly, that might actually be too many cards. But literally all of these cards seem amazing to me. Maybe we don't need that many prime times? Is that crazy? It seems crazy. Maybe we could side out a land on the draw. Let's try siding out Sun Home, see what happens. I'm probably going to bring it back in on the play. This is a turn 4 Karn, but that's very likely too slow. It's not impossible for this to be a turn 3 Karn if we find an amulet, but yeah, down 5 we go. Okay, this hand slaps. Bottom of that, and bottom that one. So we just have to draw lands and we're gonna be fine. Maybe I should have kept the fetched because of that. Oh, they have Thoughtseize? Oh, okay, Seaguard the save. No zeros? Okay, so they can't turn to me, which is nice. Well, hello. That's a pretty good draw. As long as they don't have a Leonin Relic War there, which would suck a little bit. The only problem now is that this is like now I sided out my stronghold. which is honestly just brutal. Mistakes were made. Would have won this game easily. I guess that was bad. Yeah, that was bad. I had to... Like, basically I had a free steering, so... No! No, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. We're good. We're good. We're good. Almost freaked out there for a second. Forgot to tap the actual land that was supposed to be tapped. Heist. So we're just getting 2 green sources here. Because I guess that the only way I lose. My opponent says it's been so long since I've seen Amulet. And it says Karn is nice as well. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. Karn is sight. So literally the only way I lose is to Damping Sphere. So I'm playing around that. So what we do is we fetch for a breeding pool. We put it into play tapped. Now we get to Karn and we get to minus for Needle. And we name Inkmoth Nexus. And that basically locks it up. I think my opponent has no outs at this point. Steel Shaper's Gift for Shadow Spear. Okay. I mean, they kind of have to attack Karn, and then they just die to my Titan. Why is my opponent doing this main phase? Weird. They are at a pretty high life total. Transmute for explosives. Okay, yeah, I actually fucked this up. I actually fucked this up. I shouldn't have played my land before combat. Yep, I messed it up. I guess that after I messed it up, I should have gone for the correct line here was to, yeah, I actually kind of threw this game. Like, now I'm dead to another... We are dead to another Colossus Hammer here. I guess we're not. They need Colossus Hammer plus because Gracer blocks. No, I mean they have exactly lethal because it would be 22. We block 3. Okay, yeah, I should have gotten Tulare West plus. I need to get Tulare West plus Field of the Dead. I think I played this game horribly actually. I should have won fairly easily. Wait, my opponent doesn't have it? Oh, they just don't have it. Okay, cool. Like, we should have lost this game. Like, I played very badly. I played very, very badly, but my opponent just somehow did not have it. And I guess that's gonna happen sometimes. Sometimes your opponent's just not gonna have it. Sometimes your opponent's just not gonna have it. I really made my best to throw this one, but my opponent just letting my opponent they are asking me about like how the previous turns went, just letting them know that they were asking me if I could have done anything like better on the current turn. I'm like, no, I didn't have mana to do that, but I kind of threw the turn after, where I made some pretty bad mistakes. Yeah, I'm very surprised by their path on the Gracer. Their path on Gracer is definitely surprising to me. Alright, GG's opponent. Two 2-0. Even though I played that game pretty poorly. It is what it is sometimes. It is what it is. Mephistopheles. It's a funny name. Pretty solid hand to keep. So if we find a bounce land, this is actually a turn 2 card, which is rather exciting. And even if we don't find a bounce land, we still have steering, so I do think that we have to lead on Amulet because the upside of finding a bounce land is just so big. But if my opponent thought this is my steering away, I'm gonna be rather sad. Copperline Gorge, so probably Dredge. Yep. And adding to the list of cards randomly hosted by Karn the Great Creator. So we're just gonna cage them. Ox, Forgotten Cave. The card smelled. Gracer blocks Narcom you up pretty nicely. Wait, they didn't put it into play? Oh, because they wanna like put shit in the yard for Ox? That's kinda cute. Why did they pass with 2 mana up? And here I'm just gonna Gracer into the cage because like having a blocker seems pretty solid. I'm not gonna play both Gracers, but just playing the first one makes sense to me. Alright, add Wajuga Bog, add Reclamation Sage. That's it. Cut Cavernous Souls. Cut Explorer. Good old Dredge. I feel like I always completely destroy Dredge unless it's a matchup that unless it's a match that actually very much matters. Every time I've lost to Dredge was, I remember it was playing for 8-1 in GP Austin or like something like that. Like I always lose matches to Dredge that are randomly very, very important. So this hand is just very, very good if I find any bounce land. Yeah, we have to lead on Forest because in case we draw Boros Garrison. We have to lead on Amulet, I mean, in case we draw Boros Garrison. Milled Blood Moon, okay. Good thing I brought me the Reclamation Sage. Good thing I brought in that Rex Sage. Now that I actually saw the Blood Moon, I'm gonna, of course, be bringing in the 2 forces as well. If we are just getting Blood Mooned, then this hand is not very good. And we are. Okay. We still have Karn. I guess if we draw Pact, we win, so I'm holding on to this. And I can draw both Karn and the land, so... Yeah, my opponent kept a hand based on the strength of Blood Moon that has nothing else going on. So... let's go for a Susa. Because if it dies, it dies. What's up, Dynaman? How's it going? How are you doing this fine Thursday evening? I don't know. Depends on where you're at. So now we just win. Sweet. Oh, Twitch is broken. You can't chat. Oh, that's why. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why I have like 30 viewers. When I started I had 70. and then like, what the hell is going on right now? So I guess that Twitch is broken. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, Twitch, every now and then Twitch does this. Like something goes wrong over there. Also, it disconnects you from the stream over and over again. That sucks. Wow, that's brutal. Alright. I mean, this is gonna make for good YouTube content, though. We're playing against the 4-0. Oof, so jealous. Adralac, thank you for the follow. My opponent's gonna be jealous after they see this hand, though. Whew. Fire. Straight fire. Shivan Reef. Main face opt. Sounds good. Probably playing against Storm. Turn to Dork. Okay, what is the sequence of draws that needs to happen for me to win this? I have to find another amulet. And if I do... So I guess I lead on Explore, because if I lead on Explore, I can play my amulet off of the Sun Home, and then I can win from there. So I have to Explore first. And hope that we find second amulet. Or, I was gonna say, or Karn is interesting too. So, now what? Damn it. So, we play this, play a Gracer. So this is 3, 4, 5 mana. So that means I get to Karn and get a Grafdigger's Cage. So that's probably my best plan. Because I think if I play the Dryad, like, we just die. So 1, 2, 3, play Dryad. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can Dryad plus Karn. Oh, if we had Temur script in the sideboard, that would be so much better. But I think we have to go for Cage. And just force my opponent into an awkward situation where they have to like remand and they don't have access to an easy Busting Flame skill. Yeah, I don't know if it's a great line, but it's literally, I think it's actually the best that we can do. If we had Tormod script, that means that I would have been able to use Dryad. Minus for Grafdigger's Cage. Pass the turn. Azusa. It's probably gonna get remanded. I think I'm gonna minus for coding this turn. We already had a guaranteed value from Karn, and now we kind of just have to start using Karn in a productive way. Oh, here we go. Manamorphose. Just F6. My opponent needs to beat my Grafdigger's Cage. This is game 1, so hopefully it's not that easy for them to beat this cage. But that definitely hinders the power of Gifts and Given by a lot. Five mana. Gifts and Given with red floating. I think that they play. What's the name of the card? Repeal. I think that they play Repeal in the main deck. So we bin Metamorphose for sure, and we bin Desperate Ritual because it's the better ritual. Play a bunch of rituals. Do they have the Repeal in hand? Yeah, they had the Repeal in hand. Yeah, okay, so we literally could not beat this, right? Like, I think that we did the best that we could, but that was just not beatable for us. Okay, dismembers, and that's it. Yeah, and they also had to naturally draw the Repeal, right? Like, they couldn't gifts into it because, of course, Cage doesn't let them do anything. So they had to naturally have found the Repeal. It was the only way. It was the only way that it could have worked for them. Sounds a little bit on the slow side, but I think it's fine. Got scared for a second. I thought my opponent had Spell Snare or something. Well, that slaps. Let's get a Breeding Pool. It's not like my life total matters. So now we can Titan them next turn if they tap out. Sweet. An Amulet draw was pretty great. Somewhat respect. Prime time. Play prime time. Yes. So we're gonna haste. We haste. We attack. We get Bounce Land plus Valakut. Swing. Yes. Valakut plus. Let's get a Growth Chamber. Bounce anything else. Swing. We Dryad. Play land. Kill that. Always yes, always yield. Pass the turn. We can get boiled here, and then we lose. But that's it. Like, I had to go for it anyway, right? Like, next turn my opponent taps, they have access to remand, like all sorts of nonsense, but... If there others have escalated, but what do you think of the list Dom Harvey posted yesterday? I don't know what list that is. I have not seen it. If you want to link it in chat, I can check it out. They'd be big brain to bring well against that. Some people do. I think from a deck that has such a good matchup like Storm is, it's a pretty big mistake. It's just a waste. You are probably gonna be doing much better if you just like progress your game plan naturally and just host Amulet with your normal game plan. I think this Titan is just a little bit too far away. Okay, let's see the list. Double Cavern in the main deck, double Vestige, double Field in the main deck. So 31 lands. One Valakut, I like that. I like the one Valakut. We're playing Karn, so I like that. For Explore. Yeah, this is nice. Seems like a good list. Ballista and Sky Sovereign, I'm not so much into. Like, I'm not sure you want both Ballista and Sky Sovereign. Oh, we're just dead? Sweet. Moved to 5 and they just died on turn 3. It really sucks when that happens against Storm. But sometimes, like, their hands are just not beatable for us. It's just part of Modern. Sometimes just get moderned. Huh? Okay. I mean, they're gifting without mana floating. So we're gonna do the same thing that we did last turn. And then we're just gonna hope that we just have to hope that our Grafdigger's Cage doesn't get destroyed. Like, that's the only out that we have. Definitely feeling very happy that I kept the Karn instead of the other thing. Of course, there are a lot more ways that this backfires now, right? Okay, put the card on top, so I have to assume that we're dead. Low Monster 87 with the Prime sub. Welcome back, brand new subscriber to the Primetime Stronghold. Really appreciate your support. I think I'm just minusing. So I guess I'm playing. Let's play Dryad first. See what my opponent does. Maybe they'll remand this. And then we're just gonna minus for explosives, play it for 2, crack it. And I want to float the mana in case my opponent is holding this member for whatever reason. I guess I missequenced this. I should have floated the mana before doing anything else. One, 2. Crack that. Get in there with Gracer, obviously. I'm just playing out my hand, I think. Plus on nothing, because I want both of my artifacts. Ah, missed the attack on the Gracer. Four mana to gifts. So their hand is Pyretic Ritual, Past in Flames, and with one unknown and whichever 2 cards we give them. Which is probably going to be 3 answers to Cage, and then 1 more card. But I'm probably going to give them the most expensive answer to Cage that they have. Oh, Well, we're definitely beating the Baral. And then we beat the Serum Visions, because it's the only thing that allows them to... Wait. Am I getting baited here? So there's one unknown in my opponent's hand. What if that unknown is the goblin? Because they could have gotten 2 goblins here. They could have gotten 2. They could have gotten like Baral plus goblin, and instead they got just the Baral. And if I'm getting baited, I mean I still bought on the Serum Visions, right? So we just beat the Baral and the Serum Visions? I think so. Because even if they answer the cage, like they still need to... Pieces. Okay. They put 1 card on top. I think we just sacrifice Karn to get a huge Ballista into play, right? And I don't think I play around Remand. Yeah, we just have to kill them. We can't give them any more time. And I don't play around Remand, I don't think. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I could play Ballista for 3? That plays around Remand? Because I can still kill one of their dudes. Do we play around Remand? If this is a 3, gets Remand. If this is a 4-4, we swing for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's still lethal next turn, so I think it's correct for us to play this for 3. Because it plays around Remand a lot better. I am so fucking good at this game. I am so fucking good at this game. God damn it. Like, it might not matter, because, you know, it's Storm, but... Am I killing this here? I think I'm killing this here. And we are in top deck mode, but so is my opponent. Saloon Division. into what? I mean, they can generate enough mana here if their Baral dies. And they already used the Pyretic Ritual. They get Remand, they remand their Ritual. Just to cantrip. They may be able to clear my board, but I don't think I'm dead here. What's up, JC? How's it going? So they're gonna kill an Azusa and they're gonna kill a Dryad. Titan is great. Karn, I guess it's also fine. Am I getting another explosives for 2? So my bonus hand is Past in Flame, Gifts and Given, X. I think I have to get Liquid Metal Coating going. Because I can't get Wormcoil this turn. So since I can't get Wormcoil next turn, this turn, I think I have to Coating. Alternatively, I could Explosives. I think I'm in Coating. Like, it's not guaranteed that they're going to top deck. That they're going to top deck their Mana Dork exactly this turn. There we go. Oh, wow, okay. So I guess we're doing that. Last card in hand, Remand. It can't be Remand, they used them all. It could be Gust. How did 2018 Amulet do? We went 4-1 somehow. So we give them these 2. We bean this 2. If the last card is Remand, we might be in trouble, but it is not. Sweet. Very good. Wow. 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 That was great. That was great. Man, that was a tight game. That was a tight game. We completely destroyed my opponent's chances of a 5-0. That was very tightly played, I think. It was a tight game. We had some very timely top decks, I'm not gonna lie, but so did my opponent. My opponent drawing that mana dork whenever they needed. We, of course, top deck the Karn, which wasn't that bad either. Playing around that remand with the ballista allowed me to kill their mana dork even through the remand. So they couldn't just like straight up kill me on that one turn. I think that there were a lot of very minor plays. And speaking of minor plays, I think it was correct of me. I guess I didn't draw. Like, that is the kind of things that you have to, you know, it's really, really tough to convey. Like, for example, the strictly correct thing to have happened is I go to my draw step, I see that I draw Primeval Titan, and what I do is I'm supposed to activate Liquid Metal Coating on their land. On my upkeep. On my draw step, sorry. I'm supposed to coating their land as to deny them of 1 mana for my turn. And Kikalos. The 4-0 playing against the 0-0, a classic. Were they plans killing the first league? No, they weren't. Alright. Guess we're not seeing any lands, it's fine. Who needs lands anyway? To 4 we go. On the play. To 4 we go on the play. Wow. It's funny how every single one of these hands was just horrible. Like, every single one of them was just terrible. Like, neither one of those hands was even remotely keepable, but I don't think I can go down to 3. Oh, we're playing against Ad Nauseam? Yeah, we... Ah! Okay. Amulet. Let's actually play the Cruel Turf here. I mean, this is a turn for Karn. So unless they have a fast Oracle kill. And another Karn. Karn is pretty solid against Ad Nauseam. In before we get remanded, right? Pact of Negation? No Pact of Negation. We're just gonna go for coding and we're gonna just start working on their mana base. If they have the combo, like the 4 mana combo, and they have the lands they need, we're dead. But like, there's nothing we can do about it, right? And that's how you win a multi-4 against against Nauseam. Oh man. Oh man. This is just good content, god damn it. This is just good content, god damn it. We're on the draw. So I'm gonna do something like this. Okay. This is what, a turn 3 Karn? It's a potential turn 3 Karn, but it's a turn 4 Karn. But we have Rex Sage, which can mess with their unlives and shit. Untap land, please. Untap green source. How could I forget for a second that I am never lucky? Big punt on my part, not remembering that I'm never lucky. Untaps the green source. Just gonna discard the Field of the Dead. It's literally the worst card in my hand. Mostest unluckiest streamer. Yeah, that's just me. Alright. Untap land one time. Or just more tap lands. That's also cool. So we could be dead here. Yeah, we are dead. Okay. That would have been pretty good. We get to see their deck though. It's a little bit of value to be gained there. So there's Thoughtseizes. There's multiple Pact of Negations, at least 3. There's Ad Nauseam, obviously. So the only sideboard cards are just the Thoughtseizes. I see 3. I see 3 Thoughtseizes. Lotus Bloom. I'm surprised I still have Lotus Bloom after seeing Karn. Like, Pentatrism seems okay, because it can get under the Karn maybe, but... On the play, let's do that. Sure. Hand's obviously bad against Thoughtseize, but... The third amulet is a little bit of overkill, right? But if this were a 6-card hand, I would still keep it, so... Also, this hand is kind of awkward against Pact of Negation. Best stop deck... Cavern of Souls? Best stop deck is Cavern of Souls. Or if they Thoughtseize my Pact, another Titan, probably. Oops, 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 oops. Wait, I think I almost have 6 on my turn. That was almost very bad. So play these stepped. Boom, boom. Green. Play Steerings. Bounce land. Play third amulet. Say go. Okay. Ugh. They played Prism here. So that means that we can get pacted. That sucks. So that means that we don't die to our pact, which is nice. But that means that we have to bounce this. Pact. Prime time. I mean, this is lethal, right? We just go for this lethal here. We die to something random like Vendetta or something like that. So I guess we do die to some random shit here, but... yeah, they have to burn an Angel's Grace here. Sunhome doing the Lord's work here. Spoils. So that tells me that they don't have the grace, and that also tells me that they don't have the mana now, which are both good things for us. They go down to 2 looking for the grace, and they have to cast it, so they don't have mana anymore. So we basically time walk them. Are there a combination of cards that we lose to now? No monkeys were exiled, so all of the monkeys are still there. One of the oracles was exiled. I'm trying to think whether I'm supposed to play the Gracer or not. Clap. 5-0, baby! 5-0. I've actually been winning a lot with this list. I think that... I mean, we saw it in all of this league, right? Like Karn just doing such insane heavy lifting. Like, it came down, my Ad Nauseam opponent immediately concedes. It came down against Dredge, we went for Grafdigger's Cage, we won. Against Storm, we played the Karn, Grafdigger's Cage, like the entire game kind of revolted around Grafdigger's Cage. Also, Karn went to get the Ballista too. It went to get the Liquid Metal Coating to start putting pressure on them, forcing them into awkward spots. I think that Karn is just the absolute truth right now. It has been consistently very, very good and consistently helping out in the... Like, Ad Nauseam is really a bad matchup for Amulet. Like, if you're not playing Karn, Ad Nauseam is kind of a really bad matchup because He just fights on an axis that just we're not ready to fight on. We're not ready to fight on that axis. And Karn says like, nah, I got you. Karn is like, yeah, don't worry about it. I got you. Let's do it. And it just turns the matchup around kind of by itself. So it has been very good. It has been very, very good. White Garrison Stronghold. Baleful Strike, that's actually a great question. And I was going to talk about it the other day and then I forgot. We talked about it in Titan Talk, but I will give you a little bit of a quick rundown. Basically, when you look at this list, you have to look at this list as an entire package, right? You have to look at this list as an entire package is the word that came out, but the word that I'm looking for is like a being, like it's a whole, right? Like it's a whole. It's not just like a random assortment of cards. So everything kind of works with each other. Cohesive unit. There you go. Sweet. Thank you, Andrea. So it's just one cohesive unit, and like everything makes sense with everything else. For example, we are playing Ancient Steerings because Ancient Steerings in this list specifically helps you find Karn the Great Creator, right? A side effect of playing Ancient Steerings is that you also see multiple you see a lot more amulets, right? Like you see a lot more amulets because you kind of can find them more reliably off of Ancient Steerings. So when you see more amulets, now all of a sudden the Garrison Slayer Stronghold package makes a lot more sense because you are not really like you're basically turning the power of your Titans up to like 1 million, like we literally just saw in that game right there. So you're turning the power of your Titans to literally 1 million, and the difference is just minimal, right? Like one of the biggest reasons for playing Howard Battlements is the ease of activation, and that's just not a relevant reason anymore. Because if you see more amulets, then you're always gonna be able to activate your Garrison because you just fetch for Boros Garrison, easy. To activate a Stronghold, sorry. So the second that you cut your cards, now you can start to make an argument for not wanting as many steerings and or no steerings at all, basically. Like if you're just playing against if you're playing like the list without Karn, like you should be playing like 30 plus lands, like maybe 31, 32, maybe even 34, including the turn timbers. So everything just kind of works with each other and in consequence. So whenever you make any changes, it's kind of a domino effect, right? Like the second that you cut Karns, well, this becomes worse. Well, in consequence of this becoming worse, then this becomes worse. And when this becomes worse, this also becomes worse. So it's important to, Biden Squad, thank you for the follow. It's important for you to think of the whole thing as a unit. Because it will make your deck building decisions a lot more straightforward, and they would make a lot more sense. Biden Squad, thank you so much for that Prime sub. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. We got some sweet emotes that now you can start using, and of course you can access this cyber guide through all the cyber guides through the Discord. I'm actually gonna be making a cyber guide on this list for tomorrow. I think that Karn is much better in the league meta than the challenge meta. It's pretty weak against the blue decks. Yes and no at the same time. Like if your opponent's holding up Gust, like on turn 2 or 3, I think Karn is very, very good against the blue decks. Because they are a lot more Gust heavy as opposed to Force heavy. And Gracer is for fast Ramban to get to Karnies here. Yeah, basically Gracer not only protects the Karn better, which is like your idea, right, in this list, because you want to see Karn more reliably, that hence the steerings. Gracer makes more sense here as well because your opponent can't just kill it and deny you the ramp, right? If they kill the Gracer, you still are going to have access to your turn 3 Karn because you got the value when it TB'd. Oh, thank you so much, Beaten Squad. I appreciate it. Thoughts about Deafening Silence in the side for the heavy spell matchups, Burn, Storm, etc. I would not play Deafening Silence against Burn. I think it would be a waste of a card. I wouldn't even play Eidolon against Burn. I don't think I would play Deafening Silence against Prowess even, but I would definitely play Eidolon against Prowess. I think Eidolon is actually very, very good against Prowess. I'm Painful Strix with the Prime Sub. Welcome back to the Prime Time Stronghold. Appreciate all of you folks hanging out here today. It was a cool stream. We got some Twitch problems in the middle, but everything worked out in the end, and happily ever after, basically. This list is great. This is what I would recommend if you're planning on playing any events this weekend. But that's going to be it for this league, and that's going to be it for this stream as well. So thank you so much for checking it out. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.